What's happening? It's Bozic. I'm here at the corner of 11th and Northrop in the Pearl, downtown Portland. This spot right here, this hallowed ground upon which I stand, will be the epicenter of the Northwest whiskey scene. Whiskey Fest Northwest, and I'm going to introduce you to some of the distillers that are going to be responsible for some of the fine beverages that we will be tasting on May 11th, so stay tuned. It's Bozic from 105.9 The Brew, and you know Whiskey Fest Northwest is coming up May 11th, so I thought I'd take the time to talk to some of the distillers that are going to be represented over here. So right here, this is Lee Medoff. He's from Bull Run Distilling, and Lee, tell us a little bit about why you're excited about this year's Whiskey Fest Northwest.
Well, I think it's high time that we have our own Whiskey Fest here. Craft distilling revolution that's happening around the country the epicenter is right here in Oregon. And throughout the state, people are making whiskey. So it's going to be a great example of seeing local whiskey products coming out.
Mm-hmm. So what makes the Northwest distilling scene different than maybe some of the other, and what are some of the other places that are really actively distilling and making big success with it?
Well, you know, like I said, Oregon is definitely the epicenter, and there's close to 50 small distilleries in the state right now producing all sorts of products. But whiskey is really the holy grail of what we're producing, and there's a lot of different varieties that are happening here. But other places around the country, California, the Great Lakes, and actually New England has a pretty extensive distilling scene. But nobody's got as much as what we've got going on right here.
Mm-hmm. And how did you get into the distilling business?
Well, I was a brewer before this, and I was a winemaker, and then I got into distillation. There's a progression throughout all the alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Have you left the other trades behind? Have you moved fully into distilling? Is this kind of
I haven't left them behind, but I still love to drink beer and wine. Yeah. But the only thing I actually make, though, is spirits these days.
Right. So tell me about the Bull Run here that we've got sitting in front of us.
All right. Well, Bull Run Distillery is my new distillery. This is actually the second distillery that I've owned, and it's really focused on making dark spirits. Our main focus is actually making 100% malted barley whiskey made from Oregon grain out of the Klamath Basin, and aging it as much as I can in Oregon oak barrels. And of course, using the beautiful Bull Run water that feeds Portland. But in the meantime, we have our Temperance Trader, which is our Negociant brand. This is actually bourbon that we bring in, and then we actually blend and bottle it all right here. And of course, using the Bull Run water gives a completely different textural feel on the palate. The joke around the distillery is that we can't drink it all ourselves, so we might as well share some and sell some.
You're that big of a fan of it? I mean, this is really something you would every day drinking?
Oh yes. We actually have two versions of this. I brought our regular Temperance, which is cut between 42 and 45%. I do it based for taste. We try to individualize each one of the batches that we do. But we actually have a barrel strength version also, which is just that. It's straight out of the barrel, uncut, undiluted, really for those who like to sip it and add their own water, their own ice. This is much more cocktail friendly. There's a high percentage of rye in this grain bill, and I think it's well suited for a cocktail, especially like an old fashioned or Manhattan. Works really well.
So how long do you think we're going to let this sit unopened?
Well, I hope not too long.
All right. The Bull Run Temperance. What are we smelling here? What's on the nose of this?
Well, this is a classic bourbon. But what you're going to find on this is like it's not overly smoky, but it's got a nice sweetness to it. I get sort of like what's an herbal character coming off it. I think the rye. A lot of people say rye is spicy, but I really get this more of an herbal character out of it, almost like fruitiness to it. But it's very, very dry on the palate, which really makes it very well suited for cocktails.
What do you like mixing it with?
Well, it's like I'm kind of a purist in a lot of ways. I mean, actually, one of the easy cocktails that we do around the distillery is actually ginger beer and a little lemon juice. Really, really nice, really refreshing. But an old fashioned, I think, is probably what really makes the whiskey shine the best. You know, it's a very simple drink. Just there's a little bit of sweetener, a little sugar, and some bitters of your choice, and then let the whiskey really shine through.
So, if people were looking for the Bull Run, if they were looking for this particular whiskey, where would they be looking for it around town?
Well, pretty much all the liquor stores will carry it if you want to purchase there. Of course, you can come by the distillery. Our distillery is in Northwest Portland, off of 23rd and Quimby. We have a tasting room, and we love to have people come by and check it out, and we give tours and everything there, and see what else we're doing. But then pretty much all the finer cocktail bars around town will be carrying it too.
Nice. So, Lee, here's to you.
All right, thank you.
Whiskey Fest Northwest coming up May 11th. You're going to meet Lee, and you're going to drink some of the Bull Run Temperance whiskey out there. We'll look forward to seeing you.